Hello, parents and patrons of the Smoky Valley. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about our youngsters, our Smoky Valley kids. As things began opening up across the state and people started becoming more brave, a reminder today that COVID is still very much among us. We have seen activity programs in high schools and our neighboring high schools begin to open up. Kids are lifting weights, kids are practicing with their sports teams. We're also seeing club teams develop and participating in tournaments. One thing I want to bring to your attention today is an incident that happened that involves Smoky Valley, as we've heard about some McPherson County incidents, Marion County incidents, and other high schools across the state where high school students are contracting COVID. Just recently, and we learned this morning, um, we had a club team that involved Smoky Valley students, not a Smoky Valley sponsored activity, but involved Smoky Valley students in a basketball tournament in Wichita where they were exposed to a couple of individuals that did contract COVID. And that is from another school district outside of McPherson County. But those students that participated in that basketball game actually against a team that had two individuals that contracted COVID, we have quarantined or asked those parents to quarantine those students for 14 days from the time of contact. And that contact was Sunday, June the 21st, I believe it would have been. Um, these kinds of things are going to continue to happen. Right now, we are continuing with weights. We have lots of protocol in place. We have a number limitation. We ask students to please bring your own water bottle so that we're not sharing the drinking fountain. We wipe down as well as we can between lift stations as kids move through. And then they are also participating in sport practice. Please remember that we take their temperatures, we keep track of their activities during that day. We will not allow them to participate if they have a temperature above 100. We're doing all that we can to keep your children safe, but please remember that whenever they are involved in being together with other groups of kids, there is a risk of students being infected, contracting. We can't high five. We try not to touch each other. But this latest incident, which was reported by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, reminded us that these things aren't over and they will continue. And so when our students participate, they're doing it at their own risk. And when we go to other communities, I just ask you to be very cautious and conscientious. If any of our students start experiencing any of the symptoms, which include fever, cough, chills, muscle aches, sore throat, loss of taste or smell, fatigue, diarrhea, shortness of breath, to please consider quarantining yourself for a period of time. And like I said, we've asked 8 individuals who are Smoky Valley students to quarantine. We hope they don't have COVID. We just want to keep them out of the weight room and off of the gym floor and away from our other students for a period of time. If in fact one of our students does contract COVID, who has been involved in those activities and been around some of those other students, we will probably shut down the weight program for a period of time. I know Inman just did that last week or earlier this week for a period of 14 days, surrounding schools that are close to us, schools that we know our students are contracting COVID. So please be very, very cautious and remember that when they are involved in these activities that involve other kids, that there is a sense of risk. Smoky Valley wants to have all of our kids back healthy when school begins. That's the number one question that I receive. What's school going to look like when we start? We're going to get some guidelines from the state on July 10th, and we hope to begin building some possibilities. We want to bring our kids back in, but as this continues to thrive and move forward. The numbers in Kansas are not getting any smaller, and now it's starting to affect our youth, and we're starting to see it because we're bringing those kids back together. So I'm really concerned as to where we go in the future. I know some parents have called and said, Glenn, can you take my student? Can you get them in school when school starts? We're going to do our very best. We have a lot of work to do because when and if we do bring them back, school will not look the same. There will be protocol in place. I can tell you that. I just hope that we can get them in here part-time, full-time, but there will be some protocol in place so that we can keep them safe while they're here. I think that's all I have for now. I just want to remind you to use caution, use your own discretion when you send your student out on a tournament, club volleyball, to some other place, and you're making contact or in the same space and environment as another individual from somewhere that we don't know what they've done to be cautious. So I commend some of those tournaments for doing a nice job of really putting some stiff protocol in place, doing the best they can, but there is always a risk. So if we have more and have an outbreak, you're going to hear about it because weights and practicing will probably be shut down if we have one of our own contract COVID. Please be safe out there and take care. Thank you.